Good morning, business builders, and welcome to Business, where business is the most important meal of the day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger. Our goal on this channel is to make you 1% smarter today by unpacking business news over the last 24 hours, sprinkled with tips and tricks to help you mind your own business. Now, it is 7 a.m., and the thing is you don't want to hear me talk. You guys came for the morning mark. I know you did. And this dude's going to give it to you. The morning mark is coming your way. I know why you're here. You're here for the morning mark. No props required, no drinks, no gear, just you and a functioning brain. We will work with what we've got. Wherever you are, job site, standing or sitting, it doesn't matter. Pick one thing you will finish today. Not a list, not 10, not 3, just one. Now mark it mentally and write it down. That's the line in the sand. That's the thing the day doesn't get to erase. This is the pause that sharpens the edge, the moment that turns noise into signal, the tiny act that makes business owners dangerous in a good way. That, my friends, is your morning mark. Your day has officially started. Let's dive in, shall we? Now, what is on the agenda today? Well, before we get into the majority of our topic, which is the news, I like to start you guys off with a little something, okay? And so it could be a joke, quote of the day, one of my favorite SNL skits. It could be like a this day in history, whatever it is. And so honestly, I've been watching a couple great shows, and I wanted to kind of tell you guys about those shows. Number one, Landman. I have to tell you guys something. It's me. Born in the 70s, raised in the 80s, partied in the 90s. We all grew up with our parents watching an amazing TV show called Dallas, okay? We all know Larry Hagman was the villain, but we all freaking love the dude, okay? And then after Dallas was over, like the whole family watched Dallas, and then when that was over, we would then be sent to our rooms so the parents could watch Knots Landing, It was like, that was kind of the routine for like years and years and years. Landman, Billy Bob Thornton, Demi Moore, Andy Garcia. I don't even know. Those are the top 3 people, but it's got an insane cast. Sam Elliott, which, by the way, I became an enormous Sam Elliott fan, and Cher, before I even really knew anything about him, because my mom, when I was younger, had me watching a great movie called Mask with Cher and Sam Elliott. Literally, that movie made those two individuals quite literally my favorite actors of all time. And then you pair that with Cher, who, dude, she's my queen. I love that lady. She's amazing. So Landman, go freaking watch it. Not because Cher's on there. Trust me, if she was, I think that would literally be the most popular show in the world. And then the second one, I'm just telling you right now, if you guys dig game shows, okay, please, 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 you got to go watch, okay, Beast Games. Go watch if you haven't seen season 1, go watch it. The amount of world records Jimmy beats in even season 1 is amazing. Thank you, Justin. Good to see you, my good man. How's the sound? How's the lights? Give me some good news, bro. All right. It's a couple seconds delay. So Landman, Beast Games, catch those shows. I think you guys are going to be really, really down with it. Now, before we get into our juicy news, here's a quick little reminder for you guys. While we talk a lot about business growth and the economy here on Business for Breakfast, please remember I don't hold any securities licenses. This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only and doesn't constitute financial recommendations. I'm here to help you run your business like a Fortune CEO, not to manage your portfolio. Now it's time for some juicy news. Juicy news. Juicy news. Oh, I don't know why, man, but it hits different. That third one just hits different. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So are we talking about the greatest juicy news maybe ever that you've ever seen? I don't know. But we have some redonkulous news today, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. Okay. So where do we begin? Where do we begin? I tell you where we'll begin. Let's start with the title here. Tariffs bite into mom and pop profits. Here's the story. Small business profit growth has turned negative for the first time in 18 months, driven by surging import costs from new tariffs. Owners report squeezed margins as supply chain expenses rise, with many delaying hires or expansion. The NFIB says highlights widespread concern over trade policies, exacerbating economic uncertainty. Why does this matter to us mom and pop Venti shops? Pretty flippin' easy, because if you guys remember, a few days ago, I did my very first whiteboard lesson, and it was on how the money flows of tariffs. And if you guys remember, first, so the tariff is imposed on the domicile company, which is basically your employer. Okay. So here's a quick little fourth grade version of a tariff cliff note. So the tariff is imposed directly onto the importing company, which is us, or you as the owner. Okay. You know that you're the one that has to pay it. That product can't even leave the dock until you pay the tariff. Okay. Now, we know there's a difference between companies and nonprofits. One of them is designed to make a profit, another one's not. Okay. So a company has to make a profit to continue to be in business, and, do what they need to do, pay their employees, blah, blah. But you understand that they have to raise rates, which affects two individuals. It affects their customers. So they have to raise rates to their customer. Okay. But you know that customer is buying product from this wholesaler, okay, who is selling to the general public. Okay, you get that, right? So then they have to pass that increase to the customer, you. So for instance, let's just say, I'm going to give you a hypothetical. This isn't true, but let's just say we had an import and there was a 25% tax on meat. Let's just say all of our meat came in from overseas, and we had a 25% tariff on imported meat, okay? Meaning, let's say McDonald's, they've got a big container at the dock, and they have to pay a 25% tariff to even for that dock to release the cargo. Okay. But you understand that McDonald's doesn't eat that because they're publicly traded. So what do? They have to then what? Pass that to the customer, me and you. So the first entity that is affected is the importing company, your boss, or you as the owner. Okay. Then you have to pass that increase to the customer buying from you, who usually sells to the general public, which means it's a trickle down increase, right? Customer has to pay more, right? Now, but it does affect the country that the tariff is attached to. Why? Because you understand the 3 Ps of primal existence, right? The 3 Ps of our primal nature: pain, pleasure, pattern recognition, right? Pain, pleasure, pattern recognition. Okay. Since we know that, typically we, it's not just we as people, we as every living being on planet Earth, a blade of grass, a furry caterpillar, a freaking spider. Oh my God. Even a freaking spider. Okay. Which, if you can't tell, I literally loathe. Okay. Those things, all of that, all of those deal with the 3 Ps of primal existence. All of them operate from pain, pleasure, and then building patterns around that. Okay, so if a company all of a sudden now has to do a 25% tariff, right, they have to pay it. That company is gonna be like, okay, well, now it's really, really affecting my day, my customers. It's costing me customers. So now I need to have to go find a new supplier. So you understand, if tariffs actually work, they're designed to go away. You get it, right? You're literally incentivizing the extinction of tariffs. If they work, we're all supposed to stop doing business with these countries, therefore generating no more internal revenue, because tariff revenue starts and it's intra-generated. It's generated internally. It's generated, right? So it's not it's intra, right? So understand that this is really, and who's the companies that get affected most by the tariffs? Because Big Co, right? Just think, any company with over 10,000 employees, just think Big Co, okay? They all have systems and processes in place to ease their departments to do this. Like the CEO will say, hey guys, this just happened. He or she loses no sleep, has a board meeting, calls their leadership, here, this has to happen. I just got this news. It needs to be done in a month. So you guys have 2 weeks to show me version 1.0, 3 weeks to show me 2.0, because when we launch at the end of the month, that's going to be the 3rd version, which means that's the one we go live with. That 0. because the CEO's decision, their job is to spot the holes and then direct the ship. Their job is to steer the ship. They're the captain of the cruise ship. A CEO, the business owner, is the captain of the cruise ship. Your number one job is to really do a couple things. Number one, make sure your customers are having the time. Actually, before even that, the captain of a cruise ship has the most important job is to steer their ship to the destination of their choosing. You get to choose. You as the owner, the CEO, get to choose the direction of your ship. You hear Tom Cruise, a lot of people say this, pressure is a privilege. Pressure is a privilege. Okay. So hear me, right? You get to choose. You're the chief executive officer, the chief decision maker. It should be CDM, chief decision maker. That's it. All CEOs should remove that title because they get entitled by it. And it should be CDM. That's it. Because that's not even exciting. That's like, this is what you are. You're chief decision maker. That's it. That's it. If business owners focus on that, that's number one. Number two, the captain of a cruise ship has the second priority is to make sure that their customers are having the time of their life. And the third priority is to make sure that the crew has all the resources they need to make sure the customers are having the time of their life. And I swear on my life, if you as a business owner minimize what you have to do on a daily basis to one of those three things, for the love of Mary, watch what happens to your bizzo. Just watch. Just watch. Okay. So first story, freaking fantastic. Now, let's jump into another story that I happened to catch. Okay. There's a story in Fast Company. Here's the title. AI has made it possible for more people to become solopreneurs, but at what cost to society? Okay. Now, I will tell you, there's a lot of great people online. They're like business owners that really focus on AI. But the number one guy, I would say he's probably, and by the way, I'm not saying this is a fact, but just from what I see, Dan Martell is amazing. First of all, his channel is fantastic. I've been a long time subscriber of this dude. But this dude literally, if you had two other people, obviously, come to me for your daily news. Okay. But if you had two other people that you wanted to hang out with to really help you with your small business, I would say Dan Martell and Cody Sanchez. That chick is flipping amazing. Okay. She just came out with a new guide. I think I actually have it bookmarked here somewhere in our show today. I'm just telling you, man, amazing. Okay. But Dan Martell's got a ton of great content on AI and how it can help your business and the top ways that he uses it. And just so you guys know, just for me, and you guys know, like I focus on a couple different heart projects. So you guys know my day-to-day 50 plus hours a week is my first love, which is the accounting firm that we get to own and operate on a daily basis and work with the most amazing people on planet Earth. But then, I've got my heart project, which is my annual pedaling against Ponzi's bike ride that I do, where I ride my bicycle about 2,000 miles and I start in Dallas, Texas, and I end up in Washington, D.C., and it's to raise awareness for victims of financial crimes and Ponzi schemes. And so that, as a matter of fact, I leave April 16th of this year. And so my training starts actually in about a week. And then my last project is the ministry, right? Neighbor Life Ministries. And so everything that I do really kind of boils down into like one of those categories, right? And so you will learn from watching people like Dan Martell and Cody Sanchez how to organize your life in such a way where it goes from less chaos to more organized. So remember, we do this sliding scale all the time, right? So chaos, planning. The more planning, less chaos. More planning, less chaos, right? More planning, less chaos, right? So why is this important? Easy, guys, because the most important thing that we need as business owners is accountability. And the higher up we go in leadership, especially as business owners, who holds us accountable? Nobody. Even Tiger Woods needs a swing coach. You guys need a swing coach. And that's why I feel like 99% sure I could say this. We're the only accounting firm on earth that actually has two parts to our practice. The first part, which is what every other accounting firm does, which is, document everything that you did yesterday, make sure it's categorized properly, and that you're by the book for the federal, state, and local revenue collecting agency. Yeah, whatever. That's what every accountant does. But then you draw a line in the sand, and then here's over here, the daily show. The show is done daily for you guys. But we also have something called peer advisory groups, PAGs. So every small business owner, you included on this show, need to be in a PAG. And we open these up for everyone all over the country. They're virtual. They're 12-week sessions. We start them the first of each month. So my first 2 are already full, but I still have. So what I do is each PAG can hold like 6 to 8 members. They're all business owners like you. Think of it like your own personal board of directors, right? So their number one job, honestly, is to specifically make sure it's a 3-part objective. Number one, you have clarity over your goals. So every time we start, it's 12 weeks. So you bring what you want to get done in the next 12 weeks, and the team holds you accountable. So first, we're going to help you get clarity on what you want to accomplish. And 2, we're going to hold you accountable in a loving team environment, right? And number 3, which is the most important thing, we're going to help you reduce those freaking costly mistakes. That is the beauty of a peer advisory group, which is what every freaking big company has, is their own board of directors. Why the hell can't we have our own? And you will. So if you guys are interested in peer advisory groups, or you have questions about business, consulting, bookkeeping, tax work, payroll, I don't care what it is. You got 2 ways to get in touch with us. Number 1, businessforbreakfastradio.com. That's you can go check out the YouTube page, but you can ask questions, right? So I have a question about this, whatever it is. I'm either going to read it on air, or I'm going to go ahead and we're going to talk about it. And I'll call you and we'll talk about it. Or you can actually schedule a call directly with me at speakwithaaron.com, or said another way, speakwithaaron.com, right? So speakwithaaron.com is also how you can get to me. It's a direct 2-way sync between my actual calendar. And you'll see that I'm just like a doctor, man. I will call you on the nose. Okay. So let's jump back into some amazing news. All right. So what else is going on? Oh, here's the title. Greenland tariff threats shake markets. Weird, because when we first started doing tariffs, it shook the markets. But then it leveled out after a week or 2 when we realized that you can shake the tower, but it ain't going to fall, right? We know this tower is built out of rubber, right? It ain't going to fall, right? So here's the story. President Trump threatened tariffs on 8 European countries over Greenland disputes, causing the Dow to tumble over 850 points and the dollar to slide. This escalates U.S.-EU tensions with potential broader trade ripple effects. European leaders vow retaliation, heightening global market volatility. Right. Why does this matter to us, mama pop Venti shops, right? Because when stocks dip, it makes small business loans costlier, more scarce, right? While that consumer spending like dips, because remember, the very first story that I read is that who's this affecting the most? The tariffs, small business, working class, us, right? So consumer spending dips because it's costing more money, which means we then have uncertainty when things are, and you guys know, confused mind doesn't buy, right? So, and now small business has to start monitoring the supply chains for everything that they have that's like sourced by the EU, right? And they have to start diversifying their vendors. Do you see here? Do you see that if you only pay attention to the news, okay, then what you hear is tariffs are an amazing thing. But please go hang out. One of my good buddies, Justin. He's one of my best friends, and he owns a really big concrete company, like do construction, and they supply companies that bid on like parking garages and foundations and stuff like that. And this dude's like, you understand, bro? Every time a tariff happens, remember they do their project and they get bid out months in advance. Months. Everybody's bid. Everybody's won their contracts. Then administration throws a tariff on something or increases the tariff, and it's immediate. Meaning the next time he has a container come in and it's sitting at the dock, it can't get to him without he has to pay the additional tariff. And guess what? He then has to go back, which means as soon as that happens, he already knows the next 2 weeks is going to be pure hell for him. Why? Because now this dude has to call all of his freaking customers and contracts and say, I'm so sorry. I really apologize for this. But because of the tariff, I've got to basically redo the bid that I won, and I have to up it by 20%. And he has to hope and effing pray that his competitor isn't stockpiling a crap load of inventory. Because if his competitor, listen to me, if his competitor doesn't match it, he just lost that contract. You don't think that this is stressful to freaking small business, mom and pop, Venti shops? The hell it is. This is crushing us. But guess what? You never hear about it in the news. And guess what? I'll be the canary in the coal mine. I'll be that freaking canary in the coal mine. Okay, I will be that dude. If you can't tell, I do watch Candace Owens every evening, and every once in a while, I channel that. And just so you guys know, I grew up in Philly, which means I didn't even know I was white until I moved to Texas. Okay, so trust me, I got a lot of that in me, and I fight for the little guy, and that is the reason why we do this damn show. Well, actually, it's two reasons. One, I need this thing as much as you do. You'll realize every single thing that comes out of my mouth. One of my big life values, I'm a big believer in eating my own home cooking. If I don't think that shit's delicious, I'm not going to offer it to you guys, period. Okay. So everything that I say, I'm already doing everything. Okay. So when it comes out of my mouth, this is pure passion. Okay. And if you've been a mom and pop owner, you understand that we've been railroaded our entire existence. And to be honest with you, I'm getting freaking sick and tired of it. Let's just talk about more news, but we're going to talk about all this because we're fixing all of it. Here's the story. Record bankruptcies hit small business. Oh, I don't know. Big surprise, right? Here's the story. Mom and pop's shops face surging debts leading to record bankruptcies as economic pressures mount. Small firms lost 120,000 jobs in November, outpaced by larger competition amid tariffs and inflation. The NFIB notes 34% of owners raised prices, the highest monthly surge on record. What in the world? What in the world? Why it matters? Why it matters to us? Because we know rising closures signal tighter credit. We also understand that it signals supply and demand, and less supply, higher demand, which means it is not good. The entire U.S. economy was built on a vision that you could somehow swim, paddle, hitch a ride to this amazing country, make it to the shores with a few $100 in your pocket and the clothes on your back, and give you a couple decades and you can be successful, whatever you want to be. And guess what? That was all built on small business. It was built on the American dream. You can do whatever you want to do. You can start whatever you want to start. That has been going away, right? And the purpose of what we do is to save small business. I'll tell you guys something. It's the first time I've said this publicly, and I hope that this doesn't bite me, but I'm gonna be honest and transparent with you guys. So I've been my entire life, I get spiritual premonitions. Any of my friends know I get them all the time. Matter of fact, this annual bike ride that I get came from a spiritual premonition. Okay, and when I have one, I bet 1,000% I've never been wrong, not once in my entire life. And I have a really gnarly track record to prove it. So when I get it, I have to pay attention. 10 years ago, I'm reading, I'm having a premonition, and I have them in dreams. Okay. And so I've got this newspaper, and it's like in the 1940s. So like it was kind of that vibe of like, back in the day when it was like a Bugsy and all those guys like, yeah, you see, Sammy, yeah. Like that type of vibe, like what you would hear like back in the day when it was like the 1930s, hearing baseball over the radio, like, and Joe's going around third. Oh my. And it was like that type of vibe. Everything's black and white, top hats and crap. So, but I'm reading this newspaper, and it's like that weird, like black and white, but like tints of brown type of vibe. But on the cover of the newspaper, this is what it said: things extinct. And it's 3 pictures, and the paper was divided in half. Okay. So the top half was 2 pictures and the bottom half was 1. And the top left said saber-tooth tiger with a picture. The one to the right said woolly mammoth with a picture, and below it said mom and pop business. And then it was, what do I do with that? I wake up, and then I'm just given this vision. You have to help save mom and pop business. What? What does it even mean? I don't even know what that means, man. But I'm just telling you, bro, for 10 years, I've been obsessed with this. And this is what I tell everybody. If you're ever looking for an accounting firm, okay, I'll ask you a question. Do you want to partner with a firm that obsesses over your business as much as you do? Or would you want to partner with a firm that just does accounting? You get to choose, okay? So if you guys are interested in one of our peer advisory groups, we start on the first of every month. They're always free to you. You don't have to be a customer of our accounting firm. This is just equal opportunity. Our number one goal here is to help you lighten the load on your shoulders. And for us, it's ministry, helping you suffer less. Okay. So that's why we never put barriers of entry to things that are supposed to help you suffer less. That's considered sales. There's a difference between selling and ministry. For us, it's always ministry. Okay. So our job is to help you suffer less. So if you're interested, you have 2 ways to reach out to us. Number 1, you can reach out through businessforbreakfastradio.com, submit a question. We always get it. Or you can schedule a call directly with me with speakwithaaron.com or speakwithaaron.com, right? All right. What else is going on in the news? Oh, Bloomberg is reporting Hyundai overtakes GM as the world's 4th most valuable automaker as a robotics push pays off. Now, as soon as I said that, you were literally surprised by 2 things. Hyundai, interesting. But did you actually know that GM was like number 3? Because you know, like for most, like I always say this, if you were like me, born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s, and part in the 90s, we grew up knowing that GM and Ford were like number 1 and number 2. And then like a while ago, like Toyota crept up. But I always thought like GM was like up there. But no, dude, like this is not that. This is actually, and here's what I'll do while we're talking. Okay. So I will put in here, copy. I'm going to go to Gemini. Gemini is Google's AI. And you guys know this is a living, breathing show. So as we're doing the show and I've got something that's interesting or a question, I'm going to literally go straight to AI, ask it, and we're going to learn it together. Okay. Remember, the purpose of today is you get 1% smarter today. You're about to get 1% smarter with just this. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Here we go. Hyundai overtakes GM. Okay. What are the top 3? In order. Okay. Gemini is spitting it out. It's researching. Here we go. What? Okay. By the way, it's actually even different because that's not even true. Are you ready for this? Holy crap. World's top 4 most valuable automakers. This is of January 2026. Okay. Number 1, which as soon as I saw it, was like, oh yeah, duh. Tesla, 1.39 trillion. By the way, that's a T, trillion. Okay. Number 2, Toyota, 288.7 billion. Number 3, which by the way makes total sense to me because these guys are kicking booty everywhere else. You don't ever hear about them because of the tension between these 2 countries. And the 3rd is BYD with a value of 125.8 billion, obviously based out of China. And number 4 being Hyundai, valued at 76.4 billion. So when my guess is that right behind Hyundai, right, is going to be GM. And then I'm just assuming that the other 2, I don't know, or maybe right, I don't know. But those are the top 4. And this is straight from that. So I told you guys, we learn something new every single day, right? Can I get an amen? Or can I get a woot woot? A woot woot. That's a woot woot story right there. Is it 1 woot or 3? I'd say it's just like I don't know, like to me, because it was interesting. So we'll put it on a 3 woot scale because it was so interesting. Like a woot woot woot, right? Okay. All right. Next story. Here we go. Here's the title: Affordability Crisis Rattles Local Shops. You know what? I've heard this. Let me skip this story. Okay. Actually, the weird thing about these stories is it's talking about how we're being squeezed, but how it's being fixed. So in a weird way, it's like, let me tell you the reality, but it's good. Let's like, here's the hurricane, but here's the rainbow after. So here's a great story. Here's the title: Small Businesses Ditch Green Agenda for Survival. Here's the story. Facing budget strains, small firms are sidelining eco-friendly initiatives like green financing to prioritize core operations. A survey shows survival trumps sustainability amid rising taxes and regulation. This shift follows broader economic contractions post-Reeves budget impacts. Now, why this matters to us? Okay. All right. Dropping non-essential green costs frees cash for essentials like inventory. You know what I'm saying? So every single time, you have to understand that the administration puts a new initiative in place. It always affects small business exponentially compared to big business. Small co is always more effective than big co. We get that, right? So every time there's a new initiative, a new green initiative, who's it going to affect first and primarily? Small co, not big co. But you also need to understand something. And by the way, if you ever listen to Scott Adams, the tribute, the reason why I do this show is to honor him and to continue his legacy. You know that for years he's been talking about whether climate change is real or not. His whole thing is we've never had the ability to measure accurate temperatures for any length of period of time. So once they start talking about this is it, you're already looking past the sale, which is this even something that's even real that we can even manage or measure? And what are the holes in that? We're not saying yes or no that anything's heating or cooling. We're saying we don't even know how to measure that, okay? And if we've had anything to measure it, we haven't had it for more than 100 years, okay? So just think about this, billions of years of history and the tools that we have. If we came up with the technologies in the last 100 years, okay, and we've been measuring it for, I don't know, maybe a couple decades. Are you serious, right? Zoom out. Look at that, bro. Like, are you insane? Like, no, okay, that's not even remotely close, right? So this is huge, man. Every time we loosen those rules and the new additions to the laws, it always affects us. But I want you guys to understand something. What we've seen in the last couple of years is a money funnel system where, I don't know, somewhere between 500 billion and $1 trillion a year gets funneled away to fraud, waste, fraud, and abuse. And we're now starting to see that, which is amazing. And no, we're the ones that have to pay for that. And you have to understand, about every 10 or so years, the administration, okay, the blob, right, the world order decides on what the next world crisis is, because then you have to understand these world crises, and every time they have one, they get less and less measurable. But because they state-owned legacy media will beat it in your head all day long, you start to believe it's true, okay? And it's not your fault. It's propaganda. It's pure persuasion propaganda, pure, okay? You got to see it. But let me just kind of help you guys, okay? So remember, I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s, and partied in the 90s, okay? So during my life, okay, let me just let you guys know here, okay? Here we are. Here are the crises that are supposed to be shutting down the world within 10 years. Okay. So the decade before I was born, in the 1960s, the big thing, and if you were born then and you grew up in the 60s, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Oil will be gone in 10 years. Okay. Then in the 70s, another ice age in 10 years. In the 80s, acid rain is going to destroy the crops in 10 years. In the 90s, and I remember this like it was yesterday. It was like on the news daily. The ozone layer will be destroyed in 10 years. In the 2000s, you guys remember this? I'm getting closer and closer, but you guys remember 2000s. The glaciers will all melt in 10 years. In the 2010s, ready for this? The east and west coast will be underwater from rising sea levels. You know exactly what I'm freaking talking about. And in the 2020s, right? Climate change, right? But also in the 2020s, the Great Awakening, where we're now realizing we're just pawns being played in a huge world chess game. And we're all waking up because it's the first time in history you're seeing the rise of independent journalists like me, right? Get a chance to kind of just share with you guys, I don't know, like a different perspective, right? That's it. Not saying wrong or right, just a different perspective, right? All right. Let's jump into some more news, shall we? Oh, Fast Company. Here's the title. These 3 small changes in how you communicate can create an outsized impact on how you're perceived. Okay, let's look at it together. We're doing this together, right? It's opening up. Fast Company. These 3 habits undermining your executive presence. What are they? Number 1. Okay. Using passive and tentative language. Yes, and more yes. For the love of Mary, you are not your grandparents. The way you communicate is not through passive aggressive behavior or losing your mind with a really short fuse. Nope. We're all adults and we do something called using our words. I know it's crazy, but we got to use our freaking words. Okay. Use them. All right. And guess what? Here's another little tip for you business owners, and you always like to get pissed off with your people. Stop it. Start practicing Novinger's law of radical responsibility and tell me how many people you blame, right? Anything that happens to you, ask yourself one question. Is there anything I personally could have done to have kept this from happening? If the answer is yes, you know who to blame, or at least you're partially to blame, which means what, owner? You are now in charge of your destiny. Most of you guys were playing victim your whole life, weren't you? Yeah. That reframe just changed your life. For some of you, it just changed your life. It did mine. And I've used that for 25 years. And that's why typically anytime something happens at the company, ask the team, ask them. We literally believe in failing forward and no one gets blamed, not a person. So look, what happens if something happens? The first thing we say is, guys, is there a broken system or process, or is there no system or process at all? And then we as a team focus on what happened. And then as a team, throw out ideas. Remember, it's not my idea or your idea, but the best idea that wins. And as a team, because all these ideas now, it's not stuck to us, they're floating. So now it's like, yeah, I like that and that and that and that and that. I'm going to grab that one. Those three are crappy, right? You're changed if you stop that, right? Number 2, relying on verbal fillers and rushed responses. By the way, I'm horrible at this. Okay. So this is the drag speech. Like, unfortunately, this is me. And for years, I was in Toastmasters. I was club president for a couple terms. And you guys know in Toastmasters, they have the and button. And it's like, meh. And I am not kidding. Every time I speak, I get at least 20 ahs and ums. It's just me, bro. Okay. It's difficult, but I'm just telling you it's the way it is. But you want to improve when you're communicating, really work to minimize that. Okay. And you heard me give a major shout out to, in my opinion, one of the greatest organizations to help you as a layman become a really good public speaker. And by the way, for me, my whole life, I've done kind of the opposite of what everybody else does. So when everybody else is scared of something, I tend to do the opposite, right? I lean toward the thing that I'm afraid of, right? So for me, if I'm scared of something, I'm scared of heights. So I would go bungee jumping. I've done skydiving, and I got my pilot's license. Okay. Which is weird because flying is not the same thing as being scared of heights, but I'm getting used to being up high, right? But also petrified of public speaking. I do. Thank you, sir. And petrified of public speaking. And literally to the point where I would speak and you would hear a quivering, almost like I had a vocal dystonia, because you would hear my heartbeat through my vocal cords. That's how nervous I was. But what do? I do the opposite. I lean toward what I'm afraid of, not away, but toward. And so I joined Toastmasters. And if you are like that, I'm just giving you guys some major encouragement. That organization is absolutely amazing. What a phenomenal structure, organization, team, support. Man, I can't say enough about how much that organization helped and changed my life. So what else, my peeps, is in the news today? What else is in the news? Let's see here. Okay, here's a great story. Here's the title. Silent cash flow killers targeting small firms. Okay. So what does that mean? What's that look like to us? Here's the story. Inflation hangovers, tariff hikes, payroll increases, subscriptions, and tax surprises are quietly draining small business liquidity. Experts warn of creeping expenses eroding reserves, with many owners unprepared. Recommendations include vigilant monitoring and swift adjustments. This is an unbelievable segue into what we do at the accounting firm. It is 2 parts for us. It is the first, which is what everybody else does, doing what we're supposed to do and only supposed to do, which is document what you did yesterday, make sure that your expenses are categorized appropriately, and then make sure that you're by the book for the federal, state, and local revenue collecting agency. That is just what every accounting firm is supposed to do. But that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Then there's a line in the sand, and then there's us. And there's the consulting piece of it. It's the accountability piece of it. It's the peer advisory groups. We understand what you're struggling with because we're like probably the only accounting firm out there, not the only one, but I guarantee there's not very many that are not owned by accountants. It's small business owners. What you feel is what I feel. Your pain is our pain. So for us, everything that we build is for me and us first. But because we're big believers in eating our own home cooking, I promise you, if it's delicious to me, it's delicious to you. I promise you. I promise you. Okay. Unless you're a weirdo. Okay. But this is for all you non-weirdos, right? So it's going to be delicious. And so this is a big thing that we do is we have peer advisory groups. I have one, and we actually we have our own. And for you as a listener, whether you're one of our customers or not, it doesn't matter. We are big believers in accountability in all areas of weakness. Okay. And we don't think that that accountability should cost you money, or there should be a doorway or a gate to get to it. Okay. So if you are like, oh my God, this is exactly what I need. We run the first of every month, we open up our PAGs. And so during the month we fill up, and then we close them at the end of the month. And then we open back up and we launch those PAGs. And they're literally groups of 6 to 8 business owners, peers, just like you. Think of it like your own personal board of directors. So this is the team where, and every time we start a PAG, they're always in 12-week sessions. So what you do is you bring, and there's 3 things that come out of a PAG. 1, clarity. You bring your goals over the next 12 weeks. And then the team, right, in a very loving fashion, does the second thing, which is hold you accountable. And then collectively, as long as you listen, okay, and best idea wins and your ego gets out of the way, we're going to do the most important, which is why we do the first 2, is to help you minimize expensive flipping mistakes, right? Right? Can I get a woot, woot, woot? That is definitely a 3 woot, woot. Come on now. Woot, woot, woot. That might be 2, 3 woots. Okay. All right. What else is going on in the news, people? What else? Dun, 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 dun. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. This story blew my freaking face off. Okay. And I know some kids are listening, so I try really, really hard to not say real bad words. Okay. So you might hear something. Okay. But you're very, very rarely. Okay. I almost just swore, but I contained myself. Give me major props, right? So just give me like a couple claps. Thank you. Okay. Listen to this story, and it's going to blow your mind, your face, and your head right off your body. Okay. It's this week in startups. Here's the story. Japanese culture prizes large, successful, and historic corporations. The oldest, listen to me, the oldest company in the world at 1,500 years old is from Japan. But just in the last few years, startup culture has started to spread and gain momentum throughout Nippon, which I'm just assuming is in Japan. But what the crap, dude? So just like you, I'm like, well, which company is this? So we're about to find out. Okay, so let me copy this. Okay. And copy. I'm going to Gemini. You guys know Gemini's owned by Google. And we all know that Google is the 100,000-pound gorilla, and then YouTube's like the 50,000-pound gorilla. So let's just ask Gemini. Tell me in 100-word summary about this company. Here we go. Here we go. Are you guys about to be blown away? Oh my God. No freaking way, dude. No freaking way. No way. You're about to think that I'm reading something out of the Old Testament. I swear to you. Okay, so listen to this. I'm reading this straight from Gemini. Okay. No way. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so excited. Okay, hold on. Founded in 578 AD. Kongō Gumi, by the way, Kongo space capital Gumi, is the world's oldest continuously operating company. This Osaka-based construction firm was established when Prince Shiitake mushrooms? Is he the Shiitake mushroom guy? I don't know. Invented Korean master craftsman to build Japan's first Buddhist temple, Shitenno-ji, Shitenno-ji. For over 1,400 years and 40 freaking generations, the family-run business specialized in traditional temple and shrine construction, weathering civil wars, natural disasters, and social shifts. Its longevity is attributed to a strict merit-based succession system and a 16-precept creed emphasizing craftsmanship. Though financial difficulties led to its 2006 acquisition by the Takamatsu Construction Group, Kongō Gumi continues to operate as a specialized subsidy today. And then, oh my God. Then Gemini says, would you like me to research the specific 16 precepts that guided the Kongō family for centuries? Let's see. 1 + 1 = hell to the yes. Okay, please. Oh my God, dude. All right. You guys are going to see in the description that I'm going to have this link in there if I can, but hold on. Let me see if I can go here, and I'm going to go here. I just grabbed the video, and I'm going to go here and ask Gemini to summarize this. Ask to summarize this video. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God, dude. Don't you always want to know what's the secrets to a company that like lasts 100 years? And then you're like, oh my God, but there's like no companies that have lasted more than 200 years, right? You're like, no, a company that's lasted 1,500 freaking years, bro. Oh my God, dude. My brain is blown. Okay, so what are the 16 precepts? Okay, I just asked Gemini what the 16 precepts are. Oh my God, dude. When this stuff happens, bro, this is like mind bending. Okay, so I'm going to literally go right here to Gemini. I'm going to say, please give me watch this. Please. And by the way, when you speak to AI, always be polite. I'm not kidding. Do the request without the word please and do it with please and tell me what the result is. It's different. You'll see. You'll start being nice from now on. You will. Even AI knows how to activate the 3 Ps of primal existence in you, right? Pain, pleasure, pattern recognition. If you're not saying please, it kind of is a little bit douchey to you. And then when you're like cordial, it's like, oh my God, would you also like me to do this for you? And how about that? Oh my God, you've worked so hard. Can I rub your feet? Okay, it's like almost like that, but not quite. Here we go. Please list the 16 precepts that guided the Kongō family for centuries and give action steps for mom and pop Venti shops. Oh my God. Oh my God. This right here just made you guys 5% better today. Honestly, after today's show, you can take the rest of the week off because you already got your 1%. Okay. Okay. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it right now. We're going to wrap the show up right here. So we're talking about, we always finish every episode with a lesson. Are you guys ready for this? Okay. So we already did. And by the way, you guys know that if you're looking for a firm to partner with that helps you with all your accounting, that obsesses over your business as much as you do, there really is only one option available, and that's us. Or you can just go hire any other accounting firm. If you want information about our peer advisory groups, you can absolutely reach out to us. They're always open. They're free. They never cost anything. They're 12-week sessions. You will get more done in 12 weeks in the last 2 years. I guarantee it. You're going to get clarity. You're going to get accountability with peers. It's 6 to 8 business owners like you and your own personal board of directors. And you're going to basically minimize your mistakes that are costing you money. I'm not kidding. So you need to reach out to us. There's 2 ways to hit us up. You can go to businessforbreakfastradio.com. Hit me up with some questions. I'll reply back or answer on the air. Or you can schedule a call directly with me to talk about any of this stuff. You want to talk about business? I got an idea. It's our jam. We are experts taking ideas to cash flow with basically any type of business you can think of. The top 80 or 90% we've done. Remember, we've been doing this for almost 60 years. Okay. So you can go to speakwithaaron.com or speakwithaaron.com. Take it to the same place. But it links directly to my calendar, and you always have access to me. Now, can we get into the lesson for today? And then we're going to finish up with a reframe from our mentor and coach, Mr. Scott Adams. You guys know, if you know, you know. Like Candace, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you know what that is, you know. And by the way, I think she bought that website domain, which is freaking brilliant. If you know, you know. Okay. There's a reason why she's the #1 podcast in the world, because that chick is flan-tastic. Okay. And yes, I incorporated fantastic and one of my favorite desserts, which is flan, because she is both. She's like more than fantastic, flawntastic, which is like, it's like NFL fantastic. It's like another level, like steroids. It's like fantastic on steroids, flawntastic, okay? But here's the lesson. We are going to walk through quickly the 16 precepts of Kongō, the company that is the oldest company on planet Earth. Did you hear me? They are 1,500 years old. 1,500 years old. Started about 580. Okay, here we go. Number one, honor the three treasures. Deeply respect your faith and the spiritual nature of work. Okay. Number two, master the basics. Prioritize foundational craftsmanship over flashy techniques. Okay. Number three, practice humility. Avoid arrogance. A craftsman is always a student. Okay. I'm going to prove this to you from a quote that I keep on my phone from plastic surgeon. Okay. Plastic surgeon. And it's actually called the Dunning-Kruger effect. But here was this quote: as a medical doctor, a true expert in medicine, and someone who has critically examined the literature will tell you there's a great deal of conflicting data. And the research in medicine is plagued with problems that obscure the truth. Medicine contains much more gray area than just black or white. True experts speak in the gray area and acknowledge the limitations of current medical research. Rather, it is the ignorant who speak in absolutes. You get it? It's not black or white. It's 50 shades of gray. And the best way to do that is to always be a student. Okay. If you think you're an expert, I just want you to put in parentheses next to your name, or you should wear like a scarlet letter M, right? For moron. Moron. Okay. Scarlet letter M for moron. Okay. I'm a genius. The amount of guys that I know who are like business owners of like one employee, or they like have construction companies and everybody's like a vendor that they deal with, but because they're crews, they're like, I got like a huge company. And like, but they literally treat their people and their vendors and their crews like crap. But because this person has to get paid, they take it. And they're like, I'm a genius business owner. No, you're a moron. You're a moron. Okay. No, this is not you. You are not practicing humility. No, you're arrogant. Your ego is off the charts and it's got to be checked, right? Somebody needs a little third-degree black belt on business on you. That's what needs to happen. A little jiu-jitsu. Somebody needs a rear naked chokehold or an arm bar on you, so that way you realize you're a moron. Okay, back to loving people and the 16 precepts. Okay, number 4, practice frugality. Avoid waste and manage resources carefully to survive downturns. For the love of God and all that's holy, if you're the owner and you don't know how to manage money, for the love of Mary, stop it. You must put a barrier, a doorway with a lock on that to keep it from you. Do what you do best, hire out the rest. Everybody needs accountability, including the owners. And if you can't stop spending money, somebody on the other end is going to be like, hey, boss, here's what's going on. Do you want to do this over this? You pick. You're up. Maybe not. Well, boss, this is where we're at right now. We don't have that left. What do we want to do? There's a reason why I work directly with my wife. And first of all, she's the president of the firm. She's amazing, but I always joke her Indian name is Squeaks When Walks. Okay. This chick is so tight, bro. So tight. This is no exaggeration. With this, I'll be like, hey, babes. And the thing is, like, I'm always like a guy that's like, we need to get away because we need some alone time. Just hang out. We just sit around and chat. Okay. Hang, go sightsee. I don't know. Just go get away. Okay. And preferably if there's a hot tub, a lot of that because I'm obsessed with hot water. You guys know I haven't touched a hot shower in 10 years. And that's why treats for me are hot tubs, because I will not under any circumstance ever take a hot shower or warm shower, period. Will not. And so, number 4, you must practice frugality. Okay, you have to. You've got to put the roadblocks in place. I've always been a believer in accountability in all areas of weakness. If you are not somebody that has the ability to be really tight, then put protective measures in place. Because I have seen more great businesses go out of business because an owner is addicted to spending money. We call them ATMs. They're allergic to money. The second it hits them, like, bring, It like bounces off. They're allergic to it. They're allergic to money. If you know that you have an owner that's like that, it's not if, but when they go out of business. Yep. If the company's practicing frugality and you can see the leadership team is making decisions like best idea wins, hang out for a while. You're in a good place. Okay. The fifth precept out of the same: quality above profit. Never sacrifice the integrity of the structure for short-term gain. Okay. Right. People over profit. Who are the people? Your customers and your team members. And companies up until the 1980s, right around the 1990s, used to be passionate about their people, the product they built for their customer, and the people that they employed to build the product or service for the customer. They were obsessed with their people. In the 1990s, they started becoming more passionate about those freaking profits. Pensions go away, crappy 4% matches appear out of nowhere. These joke of healthcare benefits show up. And then you've got Big Co, who's like, I give you like these basic benefits and they expect you to give your life to them, but yet you're just a number to them. Why is there no more loyalty in Big Co anymore? I don't know. Maybe because the one in higher authority has to go first. I don't know. Maybe the man, if he wants his wife to start apologizing, I don't know. This is 30 years of freaking marriage. Okay. 30 years of freaking marriage, right? Married to my best friend. If you want a wife who can say, you know what? I effed up on that. That was on me. You have to go first. The one in higher authority has to go first. And you have to model it's safe to do it. You get it. Not freaking rocket science. Number 6, maintain harmony. Internal conflicts destroy a family and a business. Number 7, choose leaders by merit. The most skilled and capable should lead, not necessarily the eldest son. We don't pick people by color, by age. We just see capacity and talents and abilities. That's it, man. Because in the end, every human being on planet Earth, every one of us wants to feel noved, needed, appreciated, and valued. Every one of us wants to feel noved. Every one of us as a whole in our spirit. And the only way to feel it is to feel noved, right? So the best way to help people feel noved, needed, appreciated, and valued is to put them to work in something that they're really good at. At the end of the day, and they go home, here's a litmus test. Okay. And if you go home at the end of the day and you're talking to your significant other and you say, man, I had a hard day at work, man. And then that person says, oh man, what happened? You're like, dude, I worked my tail off. Man, I effing love my job. I love it. There you go. There you go. That is somebody that's feeling noved every day. Okay. That does not mean your job is easy. That does not mean you don't have stress. It just means you have purpose and you're feeling complete. That's what it means. And you can have that. You can have that every freaking day. I promise you. Number 8, be honest in bidding. Offer fair prices and deliver exactly what was promised. Number 9, respect your tools. Keep tools in perfect condition. They are an extension of the soul. Man, this was like one of the biggest life values my pops taught me. Buy the best you can afford and take really, really good care of it. So you have to understand, I did not grow up poor. I grew up po. We were po. Okay. When you have 2 parents in the freaking Navy, 3 kids, I was shopping at the freaking commissary for school clothes at the Navy base. And if you know anything about the freaking commissary, okay, that stinking thing, right, is always like whatever clothes you get at the commissary, it's always like already out of style. So I'm buying Bugle Boy when you're already getting made fun of. I'm buying Members Only when you're already getting made fun of. But because it was tax-free and it was like cheap and it was like the leftover, so you could kind of slide into school and sort of be like kind of micro cool, if that's even a term, like micro cool. And so like that was just a huge, huge, huge thing. And so I know for respecting the tools, I was just taught that, man. Like my dad, I'm not exaggerating. So my dad's truck, 1990, 91, bought a brand new full-size Chevy pickup. Okay. And I'm not exaggerating. Pops passed in 2016. And the truck, perfect condition. You could have literally drove it straight to California with 0 issues. That was my dad, man. And so look, respect your tools. Number 10, listen to your customer. Understand the client's needs deeply before starting. Okay. There's a reason why Amazon is a $1 trillion valued company. Okay. There's a reason why your magnificent 7 tech companies are where they're at. They have the best and the closest ear to the customer. Okay. So hear me. Companies that have the closest ear to the customer win. Amazon starts in 1994. By 1996, Jeff has a decent sized team. He's already getting mixed signals from middle management. So Jeff Bezos in 1996 does something that literally transforms the company and starts publicly posting his email, right? jbezos@amazon.com or jeff@amazon.com to hear directly from his customers. And just so you guys know, I've emailed that boy probably a dozen times in 10 years. Without question, I get a response back, usually within a couple hours, and here's where you need to go find that. But there's a few times where I've said, there's an issue here, and it might take them 2 or 3 weeks. One time I sent him an issue. 3 weeks later, somebody from the executive team contacted me and said, hey, just, this made it all the way top to the weekly core staff meeting, and we're voting as a company on it this week. Yes. Companies that are that close to the customer win. Now you know why. We're the only accounting firm on planet Earth that has account managers. We invest in that position, and they're dedicated positions who actually go out and service our customers on a monthly basis. Our mom and pop shops do not have the ability to come to the accounting office every week. That's why we go to you, because again, we're not owned by accountants, we're owned by small business owners, which means our job is to help you suffer less, not the other way around. You get it, right? I'm just speaking logic. This is just common sense, right? So make sure you as a customer, and that's why you guys know I put it in place years ago because it's something very similar. And so I have, for anybody to reach me at any time, bypassing everyone, is my personal scheduling website. We call it Level 2 Management. Level 2 Management. Whoever you're dealing with, if they're not helping you, everybody's removed, and you go to the highest decision maker at the entity, right? Or the highest decision maker that can actually make an immediate change on whatever you're dealing with. For usually small business, that's us. That's us. Okay. And so go to speakwithaaron.com, speakwithaaron.com, and you can see everybody has access to me. Because of that, all customers must have direct access to the decision maker. If you start practicing level 2 management, your business has changed. Just that. Number 11, practice diligence. Hard work and consistency are the only paths to longevity, right? You guys hear me say this all the time. Routine is the key, and consistency will set you free. Repeat it after me, you beautiful people. Routine is the key, and consistency will set you free. Can I get a whoop, whoop, whoop? That is definitely 3 whoops, okay? Number 12, be courteous. Politeness to all clients, peers, and subsidiaries is mandatory. For us, we always say our operating system is always respect, kindness, and gratitude. Always. It's the currency in which we operate. Respect, right? Kindness, and gratitude. I promise you, if that becomes your model of life, everything changes for you. If you do all 16, you're about to last for basically 1,500 plus years, okay? But if you do one of these or a couple of these, you're going to last for at least 25 years, okay? All 16 pretty much guarantees you're going to be around for at least 1,000 years, give or take, okay? So number 12, be courteous, okay? Be kind, man. Be kind. I'm going to tell you guys a secret. If you ever run into me and we hug and we've never met, you'll see that I greet every single person like a long lost friend, even if we just met. It's because years ago, hold on a second. Hold on. Where is it? I know it's here. Right here. Greatest salesman in the world. Dude, I don't even know, man. It's just, I don't know. What's this? I don't even know. I have not opened this book. Shut up. Shut up. Thank you. I just pulled this out, bro. I'm always obsessing over ways to get the word out for our accounting firm. And I just freaking pulled this out of the book. Your ad here inside of an 18-wheeler. I swear, I don't even know how old this is. It was at a Fast Company. Oh, October 2008. Holy crap, dude. Holy crap. Okay, well, Lord, obviously, you're trying to show me something. This book, there's one thing out of this book that changed my life, and I use it every day, and it's been such a piece of me that it's just now a part of my life. A simple saying from the greatest salesman in the world, written by Og Mandino. To each whom I confront, I approach in only one way. To myself and in secret, I say, I love you. I do. And the reason why, anytime you ever interact with me, you will feel nothing but love, because it's just me, man. I love everyone. And so being courteous, loving people, man, this is just normal stuff, dude. Number 13, stay healthy. I'm working on releasing the mom and pop diet. Okay. I've been working on this, tweaking it. It's like my own little version of like my own diet game. I'm working on it. I will release it soon, but being healthy, by the way, just we're on the same page. That this energy that I have is not because of caffeine. I can't touch it. Like in the morning, I'm usually between 3 and 4. Okay. And I have a cup of coffee and it's like this tall. Okay. It's not that. Oh my God. My cup of coffee is like a third that size. And about that. And I do that. And then I finish it because I like the taste of coffee. I don't need the caffeine. Your body doesn't need it, bro. If you take care of it and feed it what it needs, you have a constant buzz all day long. This dude is natural. I mean, matter of fact, I'm drinking like yogi calming tea and Tulsi tea. There's no caffeine in any of this stuff. None, All right. Let's see. Number 14, keep secrets of the trade. Protect the unique skills that give the firm its edge. You always heard Warren Buffett talking about companies that build moats tend to succeed. Keep your trade secrets secret. Okay. Make sure if you guys do proprietary stuff, make sure your team members sign those NDAs. Make damn sure they sign those. Okay. Not non-competes. And just to me, cowards make team members sign non-competes. They're little scaredy cats. Because here's the bottom line. Here's the deal. You should be treating your people, training them and equipping them so good that they can really go anywhere and do the job. But then treating them so well, they don't want to go anywhere. You get it? And so your job, companies tend to put these like contracts in place. And what happens is they start resting on the laurels. Like, I don't have to be this good because I have a contract. That's just crap, man. I hate that. So here's the deal. If you happen to have a trade and you force your people to sign non-competes, shame on you. That's on you. You're afraid. You're operating out of fear, not faith. Okay. If you actually had faith, remove it. Because in the bottom line, they're not slaves. They're people. They're people that are free. They're not people that are slaves. And if you're trying to enslave somebody in a trade where they need that trade to do their job, shame on you. Non-disclosure is not the same as a non-compete. You should be totally comfortable with any team member saying, look, I got a better opportunity over here. And you say, let's throw you a party. Let's high five. I'm really happy for you. That should be your attitude. Okay. Number 15, avoid debt. Rely on your own capital and steady growth. Rely on your own capital. Okay. And the last one, think in centuries. Build things that will outlast you. Oh my God. I don't even know, man. My mind is so melted from what we just saw and what I just read. You guys know, I'm going to put that in the description. By tomorrow, you guys, when you go back to the video description, it'll be fully populated with everything we talked about today, including the 16 precepts. And I'm going to be literally bringing this into the next executive council meeting that we have. 16 precepts to last over 1,000 years. My God, man. You can tell, man, I do this show for me. Okay. But because I have a pretty good handle on what you need and what I need, because we're the same thing. Usually if it feeds me, typically feeds you, usually. That right there, guys, I think has to be probably one of the greatest business lessons ever given. I'm not exaggerating. I can't think, and trust me, I've consumed thousands of hours of the titans, of my mentors, of the greats, all of them. I have never, in almost 30 years of doing this, never seen something laid out so simply that was so commonsensical that actually is relevant. And so for you guys, I'm going to put that on there because I want this to be kind of like our guiding light, man. Like our PAGs. This is going to be the foundation of all our PAGs now. These are going to be core values that we basically incorporate and basically engineer into the culture of our company because they're that important. And so for you guys, I hope that today basically like helped you guys out as much as me. I want to wrap up real quick. And you guys know I like to finish every episode with a Scott Adams reframe. And so Scott Adams, a year before he passed away, released his latest book, How to Reframe Your Brain, which are reframes that will literally transform your life. And the way they are worded is that if you hear it, it won't make any sense why, but sometimes there's a certain percentage of you that this just changes your life. It doesn't make sense why, it just works, okay? And so today is chapter 4, social life reframes. So here's the usual frame, and I'm going to give you the reframe, the new way of thinking about it. The usual frame. Learn to love yourself as you are. You remember, you've heard this your whole life. Love yourself, love yourself. Here's the new reframe, the new way of looking at it. Be glad your brain is pestering you to improve. There's a reason why I say this show, we get 1% smarter every day. Okay. So imagine the self-critical voice in your head, which you guys know that I've got kids. They're like, my oldest is 30. My youngest is like 25. And my kids grew up watching SpongeBob. And if you guys grew up watching SpongeBob, you know there's like this like 1-inch dude who thinks he can rule the world named Plankton. Okay. So when it's just Plankton, he's like, we will rule the world. And then SpongeBob's hearing him. He's like, me, right? Okay. And so the problem is it in your head, it's a magnifying tunnel. And so a tiny little dude named Plankton hangs out in there. Now, because he's in your head, what he says resonates and is really, really loud. Your job is to get him out of your head and speak him into the world so you can see he's like 1 inch tall, okay? So that's the self-critical voice that we all have in our head. So think of it as one part of you that's talking to the rest of you, and then don't take yourself too seriously. You do your best work when you are self-critical. Attacking your own self-esteem is an example of you operating perfectly. You wouldn't want it any other way. Self-criticism is how you power up to make the changes you want to make. So when you hear the voice, understand, take some notes, and then you guys know the definition of success is what? Planning plus execution equals success, right? So you'll hear the voice, hear Plankton, okay, but get it out of the head, write it down, speak out what this Plankton is saying. Remember what he's saying. He's only like 1 inch tall, so what he's saying doesn't really carry that much weight, but listen to him, okay? So it's not like he's just like blabbering. Just listen to the dude, but just put him in his space because he's 1 inch tall and he thinks he's supposed to rule the world, okay? But for you guys, just that's what this is talking about. That is okay, but don't let it beat you up. If you can put some things in place, do it. Make sense? Wonderful. All right. Now, I think you guys would agree with me that today happens to be, without question, the greatest Business for Breakfast show you've ever seen. The greatest episode you've ever seen. Guaranteed. I guarantee it. Now, if you guys are interested in our peer advisory groups, what am I going to tell you to do? I want you to go to businessforbreakfastradio.com and I want you to submit a question. Hey, AA Ron, I got a question about your PAGs. Would like information, or even better, go directly to speakwithaaron.com, or said another way, speakwithaaron.com, aaron.com, and you'll get directly to me. You'll be able to schedule an appointment. We'll talk about whatever you want. We'll talk about consulting, again, a business idea. We want to talk about bookkeeping, payroll, taxes, whatever it is. We can talk about all of it. Okay. Speakwithaaron.com, businessforbreakfastradio.com. And I guess that wraps up the greatest episode you've ever seen, which means, I am your host. I've got a brand new outro, and I can't wait to start it here. So that wraps up another episode of Business for Breakfast. I told you it would be the best Business for Breakfast to date. I told you. You've got the news. You've got the tips. Now you've got the edge. Remember, just don't work in your business. Make sure you mind your own business, right? I'm your host, Aaron Novinger. And you guys know what time it is. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? It's time to get to work. Pow!